Hey, Dr. J here with another episode of Janine's Justifiables. And I'm going to pick back up on my parenting and parenthood series. And today I'm going to talk about being fiscally responsible as a parent, right? We can't avoid it. Money is always going to come into play. So let's start with the obvious. The obvious is everything is expensive, right? The cost of housing is through the roof. The cost of food is through the roof. The cost of gas is through the roof. You name it, it is expensive, right? And we can't get away from it. We can't get away from it. But the way we be responsible financially for our children is, first of all, we got to learn how to live our pay. If you make $20 an hour, don't live like you make $40 an hour, right? If you make $50 an hour, don't live like you make $100 an hour, because you ain't gonna do nothing but hurt yourself. You gonna hurt yourself, you gonna hurt your kids. And let me be the first one to say this. It's all good and well that we want nice stuff for ourselves and our kids. But if you dressed in all of this name stuff and you driving a certain vehicle, but you got an eviction notice taped to your door, your priorities is off. Make it make sense. It ain't making no sense. Or you eating out, you spending $200-300 a week on takeout, and you got a shut off light bill sitting on your kitchen table. That ain't making no sense. That's making absolutely no sense. So we got to learn how to live or pay. I don't know about nobody else. Let me say this. There is some research going out, right? They're looking at, this word affordability is out here, but they're looking at what is happening in American society, right? And over 60% of Americans, it's actually closer to 70, live paycheck to paycheck. So that basically means most Americans are one paycheck away from homelessness. One paycheck, not a whole month, one paycheck. If you're talking about biweekly pay, one paycheck away from homelessness, right? You know what that says? First of all, there's no increase in salary. Let's start there. But we living above our means. We are living above our means. And yes, we got to keep up with what prices are. But in saying that, we are living above our means. At one point in my life, and depending on what year you catch me on, I looked to tax season. Because a tax return for me was part of my annual salary, right? Because I had some stuff I needed to take care of, and I was banking on that money to come back to me. But what I learned early on was that I didn't take that money and ball out. Right? Oh, we got a couple $1,000. We doing this. We going shopping. We eating crab and lobster and steak. I didn't do that. I didn't do it. Right? And I'm not ragging nobody that does it. I'm just talking about me. I didn't do that because I understood life be lifing. And so what I would do with my tax money, I would pay my rent up 2 months in advance. I would do that because I understood life be lifing. And if anything came down the pike, I had something wrong with my car and I needed to get fixed, or I had to do this, or I had to do that, or my kid had a growth spurt and I had to go buy a whole new wardrobe, right? That gave me some wiggle room that if something popped up unexpected that I needed to take money, a large sum of money to handle, I wasn't behind on my rent. So that gave me 2 good months, right? Hopefully I didn't need it, but just in case, it gave me 2 good months of my rent being taken care of. Now, I would still pay my rent in the meantime, right? But it gave me some wiggle room in case something popped up, because like I said, life be lifing, right? And I'm not talking about something crazy like you have a house fire and you lose everything. You can't bank for that, right? You can't plan for that. Or if you get in a car accident and your car get totaled, now you gotta go get a new car. Some stuff like that you can't really plan for unless your family got stacks of cash tucked away somewhere. You kind of in a bind. You got to make a decision, and this where it goes back to the decision making that I talked about. We got to make good financial decisions for our kids. You eating out $200-300 a week. Take that money and stock your freezer, right? Take that money and get some meats, and go get some fruits, from fresh fruits and vegetables, and live on pop food. Let me tell you, you can ask my older daughter. We lived on pop food for years, and when I mean pop food, I mean I made meals that last us 2-3 days at a time, because I couldn't afford that. We eating out. What you want? Where we eating tonight? We couldn't afford it. We couldn't afford it. And I wasn't playing them games. I wasn't out here trying to ball out and show out for anybody else. Oh, I see your kid got this. Oh, I see your kid got that. Nah. You know, your kid, y'all, everybody's decked out in this, that, and the other, but y'all sleeping on auntie's floor for the next 6 months to a year because y'all didn't got evicted. Now tell me, make that make sense. Make that make sense. We got 3 responsibilities financially for our kids. Keep a roof over their head, food in their mouth, and clothes on their back. As long as the food is healthy, learn how to cook and make meals. Don't be eating out all the time, right? As long as your kids is clean, it don't matter that they got the latest stuff. It don't matter to me anyway. I ain't the one that's going to try to keep up with the Joneses, because they ain't going to do nothing but drive in they BMW. They going to drive off and leave me looking crazy sitting on the side of the road, because I couldn't keep up with them anyway. I don't have anything to prove, right? Oh, we balling out for Christmas. So you rack up all of these Christmas card debt for your kids to be smiling what? For 12 hours? Nope. I bought all year. I bought clothes all year. I bought games all year. I did stuff all year. I don't need to ball out on Christmas. I want my kids smiling too. But if it's going to cost us a roof over our head just because they got a game that I couldn't afford, was it worth it? You know, was it worth it? My mom has a saying that she says, if you live lower, you will live longer, right? And the older I get, the more I realize how true that is. And she's not talking about live longer as far as you're going to live to be 70 or 80 or 90 years old. She's talking about living stable. If you live lower, you will live more stable, right? Because like I said, it's no need of us looking like we rich and we poor. Because it's out there. Most Americans is living paycheck to paycheck. Which means a lot of people is one pay away from being homeless. 3 things I'm responsible for my kids. Keep a roof over their head, clothes on their back, food in their mouth. And for the other parent that might not be the primary parent, that financial responsibility is yours as well. Just because you ain't living in the house don't mean you ain't responsible for that. You are absolutely responsible. Okay? I ain't telling y'all how to spend your money. I'm just saying you got to be fiscally responsible because you got people you got to take care of. All right? And I'll catch you on the next go round.